Hello, guys. It's Krystal Lemore Lucier here, also known as your Home Sweet Home 519 Realtor, Krystal Lemore. This is Realtor Life, and I am so excited about our episode today. We're going to be talking about integrity and honesty and sharing. We're going to be talking about supporting local in your business and personal development. And this will not be a super long episode, but I hope that this is very helpful. Okay, so let's just hop right in. Integrity and honesty. What am I even talking about? Like, obviously, we want to have honesty and integrity, right? Yes. But here's where it kind of breaks down. So, oftentimes, and I do this all the time, this podcast is a perfect example. We share our ideas and we share what we do and we share these strategies. I recently got into a networking conversation and we were talking about the good way and bad way to do it. And the bad way to do it, just so like to be really clear, if someone takes something from you or you take something from someone else and your relationship breaks down because of that, that was the bad way to do it. Right? So let's just get clear on what that is. So if it is something like, let's say, and I use this example all the time with people. I'm happy to share what I do as a realtor. Number one, I really don't think anyone will outwork me. If they are going to outwork me, they deserve success. But I also am very happy to share what I do because a lot of what I do is kind of piecemeal from advice I've gotten and tips I've gotten through the years from my colleagues. So in my view, I'm a pay it forward kind of person. They've shared, I share. They've shared, I share. And it all works. And the key with anything, if you're going to take an idea from someone, number one, tell them. So like usually they're in the middle of telling you about it. And then you say, that's amazing. I think I'd like to try that. If they're like, oh my gosh, don't do it. That's a, why did they tell you, I guess? But you just say, I'd love to try that. Thank you for sharing. You don't need to ask for permission, but I'd love to try that. Thank you for sharing is a great way to say that. And it it feels good to be able to help people. And the thing is, when you're listening, don't do everything someone else does, but pick the things that work for you. I always give the example. So one of my colleagues, Jamie Blasky in Orleans, Ontario. Hi, Jamie. Years ago, and I mean years, like 14 years ago, I was doing an open house for him, and he's like, "Okay, Chris," calls me Chris. "Okay, Chris, don't forget to go pick up the pie from M&M." And I was like, "Excuse me, the what?" He wanted me to go pick up pie for this open house, and I thought he had lost his mind. Number one, I am not a baker, but also I was like, I am doing an open house. What's the with the pie? Anyway, so the pie, it's 14 years ago, my poor little memory, but I believe I was giving the pie away or warming up the pie. I think I was warming up the pie and giving it away. There was a lot to do with the pie. But anyway, so I thought he was crazy, but it made the house smell good. People and every single person that came in was like, the house smells amazing. And for everyone listening, feel free to borrow this idea. And so I was like, oh, I like this. Not the going to get a handful of pie and handing it out, but I liked the attitude. So I went for every open house I've done, almost every, you get a pie. Usually from M&M. I don't think they do it anymore, so you have to just find a local baker, which will be the second part two of this podcast. But you warm it up. I say like do it at like 200 or 250 on the oven. You also get to learn how to use everyone's oven. And fun fact, nobody keeps their oven mitts in the same spot. You know how you're like, "Oh, okay, the cutlery's in the cutlery drawer. Usually the baking pans are either next to the stove or under the stove. There's some pretty common spots. There's not a common spot for oven mitts. And I know this because I've been in hundreds of houses and they're always somewhere different. But you just put it on low so that it doesn't burn or smoke up the house, which I actually have done once, and you just leave it for the whole 2 hours. And then at the end of the 2 hours, it's beautiful, it's warm, and you have a nice pie to leave for your clients. That's this twist I did. So I let them know there's going to be a pie here as a thank you for cleaning up the house and getting out for 2 hours so I could have an open house. And they loved it, loved it. But imagine if I had done that and I didn't tell Jamie, and then he asked me, "Did you do a pie at your open house?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, like why do you care?" Like, "Oh, you're just open about it." And you're like, "Absolutely. Thank you so much for that idea. I love it." So that's the right way to do it. Now, the wrong way. So we had this great discussion in my networking group, and It was one of my colleagues was saying like he would do all these courses and he'd learn all this stuff and then he'd have lunch with a colleague and tell him what he had learned. And then all of a sudden, the guy would be implementing the stuff behind the scenes, like behind his back a little bit. And he was getting really, really frustrated because he's like, wait a second, I'm doing all the work, I'm paying all the money, I'm sharing. And then this guy is basically getting the benefit of all my stuff and not even giving me a shout out or a thank you. So you really want to make sure in your generous heart that you're okay. If you share something, you're okay with someone taking it, first of all. And secondly, that you won't feel bad about it later, right? Like I think that's important because you want to give with that intention of paying it forward and knowing that like there's a lot of things that helped you. And the same thing, like if you decide to collaborate with someone, you always want really good paperwork. So let's say you're doing like, let's say it's not just a conversation about pie. Let's say you are going to work together on something. You just want to make sure, and this is, I think, one of the best things my broker ever said to me. He said, whenever you're getting into a partnership, you're probably super happy, but write the dissolution of the partnership right then and there. So you know you're happy, write the termination paperwork because you don't know what will happen down the road. You don't know if all of a sudden something changes or there's someone else that comes in the picture. And so when you're working together in any capacity, make sure that that is crystal clear, which means like, this is mine, this is yours. Like basically you're writing your divorce paperwork when you're getting married, which sounds crazy, but is actually, I'm sure if people did that more, there'd be less fighting, maybe. Who's to say? But yeah, so the integrity and honesty thing. And I think if you do everything with integrity and the best of intentions and you communicate that, it should be okay. But try your very best. Karma's a real thing. Don't burn people. And if someone does that to you, I think it's a bit easier just to forgive and move along and realize that you don't do things like that. I have a colleague that seems, it's funny. It's like in every city there's a couple, but they seem to be like hot on the trail and it seems very much in their interest to try and like scoop things, to try and like get there first or whatever. And that's, you know what? You can't fault someone for being focused at their job. Now, you can fault them if there's anything that's being done that's like not of the best integrity. But you don't have to do that yourself. I have people that will stand up for me and I get to hear about it later, but just always be of good character and integrity. So you don't need to speak badly about people. You don't need to put anyone down. Just be honest, be helpful. And the people and the clients that are supposed to come to you will, and the people that are not will not, right? Like I think that's a really nice way to think about it in the moment, though, and I will say in the moment, if you find out someone has taken something from you or they have lied to you or whatever, you might feel very emotional. I refer you back to my podcast episode about responding versus reacting. Write a very angry email if you want to, just don't send it to them, right? Write something like write a terrible post that you would put up on Facebook, but don't post it, right? Like vent it out, say all the things you want to say, but then delete them and realize that your reputation and your responding is more important, right? So those are just my examples, but like if you yourself act with integrity and you surround yourselves with people that act with integrity, like that's the key. And it really just comes down to that. Okay, supporting local. It's very exciting. So the reason you might be wondering, Krystal, why does your hair look so nice? Well, let me tell you. Let me tell you a couple of reasons. So today was my photo and branding shoot with Merlot Moon Marketing. So Mackenzie and I have been working together for a long time. She does my social media marketing, and we did branding shoots a year and a half ago, or almost 2 years ago. And this was time for me to revise the pictures. I went back to red a little bit more, which is fun, but we were doing them. So I was like, okay, let's do this. So Reed Lucier, who's also my brother-in-law, is my photographer for headshots, but also for real estate. So we thought, let's combine them. Because in the past, we've gone to both places, and this was a great collab. They're both in lead tribes with me, and we had such a fun day. If anyone's listening and you want to do branding photo shoots, definitely recommend these two. They're so good. But if we want to like layer one more time, like on one more, my hair looks extra nice because I also used the new Quizen products from the ladies at Shale Ridge, and I added more red, but it's lots of fun. So why am I bringing this up? A couple of reasons. A lot of the times when we're looking at like what to do, whether it's photos, cards, branding, social media, all of these things, we think, oh, okay, like number one, let's find the most economical way to do it. Okay, that's a fair thing to say. I think we can all agree. Or, you know what? I heard there was a deal online. Let's do this. Or I can do this like AI can do this photo for me. Cool. Here's the problem with all of that, though. And this has been, I think I've mentioned this several times, but maybe you're listening to this and you've never heard my story before. I started my business three times. Once, brand new realtor, second, brand new city, third, brand new city. And it was all through after the first city where I actually knew people, everything else was through my business network. And what I learned is that you want to try and support people that could actually support you. Who is not going to support you back, even though you're wonderful? Probably Amazon, Vistaprint, the AI chatbot that you're using for whatever. These are all things and they're great, they're efficient, they're awesome, but they're not going to try and support you back, right? So I made a deal kind of with myself long ago. So this would have been 13 years ago, or 12, 14 years ago. Oh my goodness. That if I had to spend any money on my business, to the extent possible, I would be spending it somewhere that could actually build a relationship where I could support someone. And then that brings me to the other deal that I made. And this is, I think, very important for all of the entrepreneurs and realtors listening. I also made a deal that when I became a realtor, I would get my photo done every 2 years. Now, for me specifically, it matters because my hair changes all the time. And I actually just put up a picture and I don't even know what the background, if you guys will be able to see it, but this is a sampling of all of my real estate. This is me, my very first card. That hair is orange, my blonde hair card. So yeah, lots of fun. But ultimately, you need your card to look like you. So if someone gets your card, you want them to not be surprised when you roll up, which means you should be the same age relatively, the same weight relatively, the same hair color relatively. Like it's something that they look at that they kind of associate with you. This is what you look like before they meet you. So it should not shock them to meet you. And so what's cool about that is I also know like that I am going to repeat this photo process every 2 years. So my network knows that I'm going to do that, right? It's kind of cool. And then we also did the branding photos, which are really fun for the social media. So we're also giving Mackenzie and her team content. And it was so much fun. We had all these outfit changes. I had my sunflower brooch, which was a big favorite. But yeah, we had a really great time. And the thing is, because we do that, like they know that I support them so much, like, and I share it out, but it also gives you an opportunity to share what that experience is like. So think about every time you use a product, you get to say, oh, this is what it was like to work with these people, or, oh, like what I loved is this. And the same thing, like I get my cards done and printed. I have little stickers somewhere, little stickers that I get printed that I can put on everything. Now, here's the thing. This is actually really cool. So I do actually, like I got these pens printed from Talbot Marketing, which is really fun. But with the stickers, you can actually put the stickers on anything you buy. So if you buy a book, you buy whatever, you can put this on. Now, could you get them branded? Sometimes you can, but it's pretty hard to get things branded. And so that's where people might go the way of like, oh, like let's buy a bulk order online. The bulk order online is probably not going to give you anything back. But this is a really easy way. I put these on everything. I put these on little vitamin C packs and I mail them to people. They love them. I put them on, yeah, pretty much anything that it'll fit on. But supporting local is a big deal. So try to like, I'm going to give you guys a challenge. Write down 3 to 5 things that you know you have to spend money in your business on and see if you can do it locally. And don't just order locally. And here's the thing, this is the secret. Don't just order locally. When you're chatting with these people, try and get that reciprocity going. Now, they might not need your services, but they can probably connect you to someone. who can connect you to someone who might need your services, right? Like you're building the relationship, you're showing them that you're actively supporting them, and you're doing it in such a way that they know that you've got their back and they also want to have your back. The only caveat to this is if you do all of this and the person just does not seem to care at all about you or your business, maybe they're not the right person. So there are many other businesses out there. You can keep looking. But at the end of the day, it is about supporting people and it all comes around. It really does. And it's so much less stress. Like the stress goes down when you don't have to always be chasing business because you're just being yourself and supporting. Okay. Now, the very last thing is personal development. So I'm really excited. I'm always doing personal development. I'm addicted. So I have a Mind Valley membership. I'm doing a public speaking course, which I love, but I just started. My dad introduced me years ago, like literally, oh my goodness, like 23 years ago, to Tony Robbins' Personal Power 2. Now, Tony has so many courses. I've been in person twice to Unleash the Power Within. Amazing. I walked on fire or coals, but still, walk on fire sounds a little stronger. But this particular course, this Personal Power 2, the OG one, is my favorite. I've done it like, oh my gosh, 10 times. I'm on day 4 today of doing it again because my husband and I golfed with my dad and his wife, and he was like, oh, I started Tony again. And I was like, you know what? That's a good idea. Which is another like, be around people who are like-minded because it'll remind you should do it. So I'm doing the personal growth. And what's nice about this program is it kind of forces you to write down some immediate goals that you've either been putting off or are important to you, and then you have to work towards them like immediately. And it works. Like I think I used this to quit smoking, and I mean a long time ago. And I think I used it, oh my goodness, for so many things, to buy my first house, like all these things. And ultimately, like it just gets you going. And so I definitely recommend that, like the personal development. The whole thing also, so I'm doing this Tony Robbins, and then I also had a great talk with my coach, and I was feeling overwhelmed. Do you guys ever have that where you're just feeling like, "Oh, I can't figure out why I never have time to do anything, but I just don't." And what I realized is that I didn't have thinking time. That's what he called it, thinking time. But when I really like, so I mapped out everything I was doing. I took half an hour to 45 minutes of thinking time, and I didn't have any tasks. It was task free. And I wrote down, and please do this. I wrote down every single thing I do. And I made 3 categories. So category 1 was for my business, my Royal LePage, I'm a realtor business. That was a big list. And then I made another one for my Realtor Life podcast. So just podcast, what do I do? Like every week, every month, what's the time I'm spending? And I think one of the other things that I realized sometimes like I'm so passionate about this, and I'm going to be really transparent. I've been treating it like a hobby, and we're about to be leveling up. Our guests are out of this world, but we're leveling up with some sponsors coming on and just really like maximizing everything. I'm pumped. And so we are leveling that up. And then my last category was my personal, like, what am I doing personally? And I realized, so if you take away the time, I gave an hour and a half a day of eating. So, like the time you spend for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then 8 hours for sleeping, which is generous, but still, you're in bed, like whatever. After taking those out in a month, you have 403 hours. And I had like 407 hours of stuff that I was doing. And so I started realizing I need to set some parameters for myself. And I recommend you all do this. And I thought, okay, so there's some things I'm trying to do everything. And when you try to do everything, it's just nothing feels good. And it was a good reset for me. So my recommendation is do this because you also find out like you might be spending time doing really wasted time things. Like, do we need to spend an hour scrolling Instagram? Absolutely not. Is Instagram's only job to make you spend an hour scrolling? Yes, yes. That's what the algorithm's for. So you get to decide. And I found like it was just a little bit more empowering to take that back. And when it comes down to it, like that personal growth, it's just figuring out the best thing for you And once you figure out the best thing for you, how can you get to your goals while enjoying the process, loving the whole thing, and feeling good? Like that's what we're here for, right? You want to be joyful and excited and all the fun things. So, all that to say, I'm going to let you guys go now. So, just as a reminder, integrity and honesty, this is what we want to exude, like be integrity, be of integrity, be honest, but surround yourself with people that are as well. And if you encounter people or you have stumbles with people that are not, you don't need to react. You can respond, you can learn from it, and you don't have to get into that circle. You can rise above. Supporting local, try your best. Like I said, I challenge you, look at your business, 3 to 5 businesses that you can build a relationship with. And it can be really fun. And plus, you end up becoming friends, which is awesome. And then personal development. It doesn't have to be Tony Robbins. It could be anything that works for you. There's so many options. And I think that's sometimes the problem. There's so many options. But pick like a 30-day program and stick to it, right? So get yourself a little notebook. That's what I do. And stick to it for the 30 days. And you'll see like every day is a little bit better. I think so. There's personal power too. I've done thinking into results, which is really good. It's the Bob Proctor program. I don't know if that specific one exists, but I do know if you Google it, I think there's so many people that have similar type programs. But really, like, you just need something that you can follow because it's just one of those, like, you're going to feel great after. You could even just read a personal development book if you want to. If that's your speed, you can do that or listen to the audiobook. And for all of our money conscious friends, I wanted to share really quickly. I found this out a while ago, but I forgot. So I do like Audible very much. Spotify, though, if you have a Spotify account, please subscribe to this podcast and follow us. But if you have a Spotify account, before you go and spend money on an Audible or on an Apple book, check Spotify. You might already have. Spotify Premium has books in there included, audiobooks. So I just found that out and I just saved myself like $30 because I need to read a book for book club and I already have access to it. So yay. Look at me, fiscally responsible right here. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. It was great to talk with you. Here is my suggestion is listen to this, write them down, do the activities. But I'm so excited about the guests we have coming up and the guests we've had. Very grateful to spend this time with you, and I hope you all have an amazing day.